Has this ever happened to you? You're getting ready to play your trombone, but your slide sounds a little funny. Or maybe there's a weird smell coming from your horn. Oh, I think it's time for a bath. There's a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need a cleaning snake to clean out all your slides, a mouthpiece brush to clean your mouthpiece. You're going to want a wash rag or some kind of hand towel, and a big towel to lay your horn on. You're also going to want some dish soap to put in the water. This one smells like orange. Oh, and you're going to want your trombone. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be plugging up the bathtub here, and we want to fill it up to about halfway, or at least enough to cover the bell. You don't want your water to be too cold, too chilly, but you want it to be just right. So as the bathtub is filling up, I'm going to be disassembling my horn piece by piece, starting with the mouthpiece, the slide, and all of the individual tuning slides and the main slide itself. One thing that's important to note about taking out any of the tuning slides, especially if you have ones with triggers like this, is you want to make sure that you're depressing the trigger as you are taking out the valve so you don't cause a vacuum and popping out the slide. So taking out the slide is going to look something like this. I'm going to press the trigger and then pull out the corresponding slide. Easy. And here's a quick little trade secret. If you're trying to take out one of your tuning slides and it's stuck, you can always have the bell on the ground, have your feet carefully around the bell, and then pull up on it. So you want to fill your bathtub up until just about the entirety of the bell is covered. But at this point, we can go ahead and start loading in some of our slides. And the way you want to do this is carefully submerging each one, making sure all the water goes into it, and letting it stay submerged in the water. Another quick trade secret, as you're filling up the bathtub, go ahead and put in your dish soap as it's filling up to get it incorporated in the water as much as possible. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to get it all bubbly and smelling like oranges. So at this point, I'm ready to go ahead and put my bell into the water, and I want to make sure that I'm getting all these tubings filled up with water. So you might want to hold it down as you're doing this. You can hear all these bubbles happening. And it should rest in there pretty nicely. Now, we're gonna let this soak for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're gonna start taking a brush to it. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to start using your snake on all your slides. So first, what I like to do is go ahead and throw it in the water so I can get some soapies on it. Then we're gonna grab one of our slides. Let's grab this one. This looks like a good slide. So now, I'm going to shove one end into the slide and slowly start scrubbing my way all the way down the horn. Down the slide, I should say. And eventually, you'll see it pop out the other end. Once you're at this point, you can pull it out and rinse out the slide. And then you continue this process with the rest. I've sped up the footage a little bit here, but what I'm doing is I'm taking my snake and my brushes and going through each of the slides one by one. So now I've gone on to the tuning slides, and eventually I picked up the bell, and now I'm going down each individual tuning slide hole and scrubbing it out and rinsing it out as I do it. So now that we've finished scrubbing down the horn, I've went ahead and gotten a towel ready so we can go ahead and start taking out pieces, hand drying them each, and then laying them on the towel to air dry out. So we've got all the pieces of the trombone laid out on the towel. We're going to let it air dry for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll start putting it together. So it's at this point, I'm going to talk about 3 more important things you need to have when talking about instrument maintenance on the trombone. And that is going to be your slide oil, tuning slide grease, and in my case, since I have a horn that has triggers or rotors, you're going to want some rotor oil. So again, it's going to go by real fast, but right now I'm just putting on tuning slide grease on each one of my tuning slides. You only need a little bit, and you can just work it in with your fingers and then rub it into the slide. Next, you'll see me putting on the slide oil onto my slide. I use a brand called Slidomix. It comes in 2 bottles and it goes on super quick and easy. Then you'll see me take off the rotor caps and apply the rotor oil. Now let's hear that beautiful trombone playing. Ah yes, clean sounds and a happy boy.